сайн байцгаана өрхөн мөндө Цахим спорт сонирхогч өгөө залуучуудаа. За ингээд Бразилийн алдарт тоглогч NVidia-ны тоглогч FalleN-тэй өнөөдөр PlayerSETUP-ыг хийхээр хүрэлцэн ирсэн байна. За тэгээд FalleN-ийнхоо ерөнхийдөө ямар шүү гэр хэрэгэлдэг, Windows-ийн ямар шүү тохиргоо идэггүй гэдгийг өөрөөс нь энэ мэдээллийг авахар ирсэн байна. All right, thanks for having time to do this video. So, we are doing a PlayerSETUP video. So, can you just explain to us like what kind of gears you're using, what kind of settings you do, and then also how do you sit and how do you warm up, those kind of things, like being not ready to until being ready.
Sounds good. Right now I'm using this is my own brand keyboard. It's called a FalleN brand, and this is a version that is kind of low cost for the people, and we didn't launch it yet, so it's kind of the first one that exists, but we're going to launch in a couple of weeks. And I'm using the Razer mousepad. I'm using, I think it's the Gigantus, it's called it.
Okay.
My headset is a Razer Kraken 7.1 USB. Mouse bungie is one of my brand as well. We call it Tucano.
Okay, awesome.
It's pretty much similar as other versions you guys have seen. And so basically you need a headset, mice, keyboard, mousepad, mouse bungie, kind of optional. And as a mice, I'm using the EC1B from Zoe. It's a mice that I like a lot. And also I kind of created one mice at my brand that's pretty similar to the Zoe one because I think their mice are very good. Okay. And besides that, I think the PCs and monitor just coming as every term they keep changing. But at home, I normally use a very good computer. I think it's i7 8700. And as a monitor at home, I have a BenQ. I like a lot their monitors as well.
So for the sitting, how do you sit? Like, how do you place your keyboard and mouse?
For sitting, I normally try to make sure that I have my foot in the ground. This way I just feel like I'm more stable, like I'm not flying. Like I think it kind of has to do a little bit with the confidence you have when you're playing, so I just try to sit the same way. On the chair, I don't like that my arm keep touching here. Like I prefer that this is a little bit lower, but on this chair I can't move it, so it's just like that. But it's not a big deal too, but I prefer just a little bit lower. For keyboard, I like kind of putting in a little bit to the left like that, like turning it a little bit, and then the monitor kind of follow it, you know. So I kind of put the base of the monitor with the keyboard, just a little bit. There are players who do things like that, like very crazy, but I just like a little bit. And then I make sure that my mouse pad is very aligned with the table, because I like the feeling of not touching my hands into the table. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing else that's much special. And monitor, I just try to find a normal height. I don't really have anything special for the monitor. I think you wanted to see some command lines,
for the launch options?
Yeah, launch options. Here I have my resolution. So this sets up the resolution, wave and height. Tickrate 128. So if I create the server to practice nades and it's going to be the optimal tools. Here I have the refresh rate for the monitor. This one only runs at 144. There are a couple monitors that will run more, and bad versions of monitors will run even lesser, right? 75 or 100. But I only use 144, so I avoid going for competitions and having to change my refresh rate. So even if I have better monitors with 240, I still use 144. This is for not opening the video on the game options. This is the new command line the Valve just introduced it to use the DirectX 9. And this is to open the console, because here was not opening, but this is not really necessary if your button is working. So that's pretty much it. On NVIDIA settings, normally when I go to the 3D settings, I like to put almost everything off. So I'm looking for performance, I'm looking for more FPS, so everything is on off. And then here I make sure I put high performance instead of quality. This kind of helps tweaking the performance as well. And make sure the vertical sync is off. And there's only a couple of things I don't change, like threaded optimization, it's auto, I don't change it. And then shader cache is on, I don't change it. And gamma correction. Besides that, I put everything off. I have been doing that for many years. I don't know if it's the best option, but it's just the way I set it up. And also, I like to change the colors. I like to put digital vibrance on 100%, so it looks more reddish. It looks more alive. Like the colors are a little bit alive. You can see here the difference. When the default is 50%, I normally go 100. And gamma, I like to put 108 because I like it bright. And besides that, I think here I go because I like full screen. I don't like the black bars on the side, so I just go for full screen. I check this box to override, and I put GPU here on. How I'm scaling it. And that's basically how I set up NVIDIA. So for the video settings, I normally put everything off as well. And the only option I'll make sure is enable is the multi-core rendering, because it's telling my computer to use more than one processor, like one core. So this is important to increase FPS as well. There are some people who's going to change the shadow quality sometimes just to make sure that the shadows in game you can see a little bit better. I have tried those, but later I'm a little bit lazy on those things. I just put one that I like and that's it. So I just keep everything off and just one enable. And that's basically it. What else do you want to ask?
Do you change any like audio settings, like 10-second warning kind of things?
For the audio settings, I like the 10-second warning volume. I like it. But I don't like it too high, because sometimes you're going to be saving your weapon and then it's too noisy, you can't hear people following you. And all the other sounds I don't really care, so I put it now off. And I like to use this option on yes as well. And that one is a little bit tricky, because in the past, I would say 6 months ago, this option didn't exist. And the normal thing would be this to be no. And when the change came up, I even messaged Valve and I said, hey, I don't like this new change, I'd like to have the older version. So they kind of put an option here to be enabled or not. But after giving it a try, I realized that you can understand a little bit better of the sound if you use it, yes, because it has a better system on giving you the exact location where enemies are. But at first, when you first try it, you're going to think it's shit. You're going to say, hey, I can't understand anything. So you kind of need to give it like 2 or 3 days playing with it, and then it starts feeling more comfortable, and you can get better understanding from the sound. Okay, so after you do all of your settings, how do you warm up? Is there any specific map you play? The only map I like to play is Aimbots, because this one is normally the one you can play on the tournaments as well. But besides that, I like to go for deathmatch too. Okay, so for how long do you practice on this map? Normally when we go for tournaments, like 30 minutes before the games. But I only use Aimbots when I'm going to the tournaments. But when I'm just warming up at home, I would say 30 minutes, 40 minutes, sometimes more, depends on the feeling. But I play deathmatch then. I just join a server where people are playing and I play a little bit. Okay, so is there like anything else besides like non-game warm-up kind of thing? Do you guys like huddle a lot or talk a lot, like pre-game ritual kind of thing? When it's an important match, when we are playing a LAN tournament, we like to huddle, we like to talk and energize everyone to keep the focus on the same feeling and have everyone together. But sometimes we don't do it as well. It's kind of random, but we like huddling a lot. We bring those for the last years. I think we start doing more and more, and teams start, hey, those guys are winning and they're doing this, so let's do that as well. So teams really start understanding that having everyone on the same feeling is good for the team. So huddling is very, very cool as well. Okay, well, I think that's all for our video. So thank you so much for coming to guest. Mongolian scene. Thanks everyone. Alright, so за тэгээд эрхэм мөндөд үзэгчдээ та бүхэнд одоо FalleN-ийн бүх тохиргоо, бүх одоо гэрүү таалагдсан байх гэж бодож байна. Хэрвээ тэгээд та бүхэн хүсэх юм бол бүх тохиргоон дээр ирсэн зүйлүүдийг бид нэр description дээр оруулах болно. За тэгээд good luck FalleN. Thank you very much guys. Bye bye.